Hey guys, it's Ted with OAXRAY, and today we're going to talk about why you need liability insurance for your Amazon business today. Today I was scrolling through Facebook, and I'm in a lot of Facebook groups, so you will notice that I get a lot of different information about Facebook, and it's just a coincidence that today I'm scrolling through and I see this item right here. Someone's requesting a review on it, and it's a power cord. And kind of weird, but I scroll down and the very next thing that I get right here is someone who's actually their neighbor buys a Dell power cord. It's a generic version of it, so it's not made by the Dell company for a laptop. They actually plug it in, they leave, and when they get back, their house is on fire. Entire house burned down, and it also killed their 3 dogs. And this person's asking, hey, who's liable for this situation? And this is why Amazon, if I scroll over to the Amazon page, this is why they require you to have $1 million in liability and insurance per occurrence. And if you read right here, if we talk about this line right here, it says you need $1 million for product liability, bodily injury, personal injury, and broad form of property damage. So let's say that you decided today that you were going to resell this power cord right here and it burned somebody's house down. First person who's going to pay out would probably be the person's insurance. So like their home insurance is going to pay for their house to be rebuilt. That's the first thing. But that's not all that's going to happen. They're going to say, how did the fire start? And with Amazon, you're going to have a pretty clear record of the seller who you bought this from. So let's say you bought a power cord 3 months ago and you bought it at a store. You're probably not going to remember where you bought the thing. And if it causes a fire, chances are you're not going to track down the original manufacturer and all those things. And you're probably not going to have a receipt for the item anyways. So often there's going to be a break in the chain of custody of who sold that item to you. And you're rarely going to be able to go back to the manufacturer and actually get remedy for the situation. But on Amazon, you're probably going to remember, hey, I bought that cord on Amazon. So then you go back into your Amazon account, and then you see where you purchased the cord from, and it's going to show a picture of your seller account. It's going to say you bought XYZ cord from Bill's Books or Bill's Amazon store. So then the person is going to say, what was the brand of the product? And they might go back to the manufacturer, or they might go back to you and they might say, well, you're liable for this product. Now, if you bought this thing overseas, let's say you're doing private label, they're not going to be able, in general, to go back to the manufacturer in China. It has your brand on it. It has your information on it. So now they're going to be coming to you because your power cord with your brand on it burned down their house. So this is exactly why you need $1 million insurance or more, because I don't know what the cost of this house was. If this house was in Virginia Beach where I live, probably not $1 million house. But if this item was in California, this might have been $1 million or more house. Luckily in this situation, no one was hurt, but you can imagine if someone died in the fire, that you'd quickly be above $1 million in compensation for this person. And it could mean the end of your business, and it probably would mean the end of your business, because a hit like this, someone suing your business, possibly going over the $1 million liability policy that you may or may not have, could easily end your business. So I have insurance with CNA. They do a lot of business insurance. You can actually select your industry, the size of your business, and put all kinds of information in here, and then you can do everything you need to make sure you comply with the Amazon insurance rules. To find this, all I did was type in Amazon liability requirements and it came up. So you can just do a Google search to find it, or we'll have it posted below. But you'll see everything that you need, the type of commercial liability insurance that you need and everything. But CNA, in most cases, would be able to help you out. That is who I work with. But if you're doing private label, you want to be very specific on what you tell them that you're doing. Because if you say, I'm selling toys, I know in my personal experience, CNA said, we're not going to insure you, or it's going to be very expensive to insure you if you're private labeling toys for kids. Because if someone takes a kid product and they swallow it, something like a fidget spinner where people are swallowing the little things, or the magnets that kids are swallowing, then you can easily be above your $1 million, and it's very risky for them. But they do allow me, in my situation, to resell books, resell toys, and as long as they have another brand attached to them, I can resell them. So you want to look at your business model, contact your insurance agent, and make sure you say specifically what it is that you're doing, because my packet is over 50 pages and it has a whole lot of exclusions to it. So you want to make sure that what you're doing is not excluded, so that if something like this happens, like this can happen to literally anyone. I mean, if you have a small electronic device, it could overheat, it could catch something on fire. And whenever you consider how easy it is to track it back to you and the likelihood of that happening, it's very likely, because they have that chain of custody where I buy it, there's a record of that purchase forever, and then I track it right back to you. Most likely the manufacturer's not in the US. They come to you, they might go to Amazon, but Amazon is the marketplace, so it looks like you're probably going to be the one holding the bag if it comes down to it. Now, I'm not a lawyer to say who is going to be holding the bag. You might want to look at this, but even if there's a slight chance that it's going to be you who gets sued over this, or your business that gets sued over this, you want to make sure that you have the right things in place. And I think what Amazon would say is, hey, we had this policy. You violated terms of service by not having the insurance if this comes up. And at worst case scenario, let's say you don't get sued. Let's say Amazon gets sued. Then Amazon says, hey, where's your insurance? We're getting sued over here and we want to share the responsibility. We want your insurance company to kick in, and you never purchase this. You're violating the terms of service by selling on Amazon. So it's just one of those situations that I think a lot of people overlook, and that is insurance of your product. And even if you're selling something that you think might be minute and you say, there's nothing that could be wrong with this. Maybe it's a metal product and it has some lead in it. You know, there's a lot of different things that could be going on. So you just want to make sure you're covered at all bases. But if you're not in Reezy's group, Reezy Resells, pretty good group. I get a lot of information from there. That's where this post came from. And I just wanted to say that that's a good group to join if you see it and you want to hear about relevant topics. But I thought this was very interesting, and hopefully everyone understands that they can be the ones held liable in some of these situations, and you should get insurance, especially just to comply with Amazon rules. Thank you guys very much. Have a great day. Make some money using OAXRAY. Please like and subscribe, and if you have a question about Amazon, put a comment down below and I'll make a video about it as soon as I can.